Because I okay, yeah. Hi everyone. So again, thank you so much for being here if you are here already. And if you guys do have to pop out or anything, just let us know later, whoever you were in contact with to get this link. We can send you the recording so you can finish it if you need to. But we love having you on because we're going to do a little question and answer later. So it's just more fun to talk to you guys right now. So thank you for being here to interact. And the tools within meets sign language. Let's kick this off. I am so excited. My name is Talia. I am a nanny and a child care worker who wrote a book called The Tools Within. And my main goal with The Tools Within has always been to create an open and safe space for parents to and caregivers to make more room for talking about emotions and to help our kids interact and connect to their emotions a little bit more. And that's what I'm hoping to do today is to just continue to give you guys tools to do that. So let's let Jenny introduce herself.
Okay, hi, I'm Jenny. I'm Jenny Stewart, and I started signing courses a while ago. Currently, I am a professor at a college, so that's what I do full time. Shh, I took the day off. And I started signing courses because I noticed there was a huge, I guess, miss in providing sign language as a first option, even for hearing children. And there was a lot of misconceptions. There was a lot going on. I worked in an ASD classroom, which is an autism spectrum disorder classroom. And a lot of these students who were hearing were asking me how to sign because I was an interpreter at that time for one of the deaf students in the classroom. Long story short, many, many years, and I'm a CODA, so I'm a child of a deaf adult. My dad was deaf. He's from Vancouver, British Columbia. And after he passed away, I decided to just make sign language my life. So it's a very long story we don't have time for today, but I'm here. And right now we're working with Talia to kind of spread, to go with her book and show how we can add signs, emotion signs to emotions so that we can better express and connect the dots. So that's all we're going to talk about today. We can talk a little bit more at the end about other programs that I offer through signing courses. But just for being here today, I'm going to give you guys posters for free. I'm going to give you a bunch of freebies for even just being here. So hopefully that'll help you guys out, whether you're a parent or a teacher. But for now, we're going to get into the emotions, Talia.
Yes. Oh, I love Jenny. So actually, we met just for a little backstory at one of my book events. I was at this play space, and Jenny walked in with her daughter, and we just talked for so long. And I was just so excited to collaborate and do something to connect sign language to emotions because I feel like it broadens our understanding of emotions in a little bit sooner. Like kids that can't are nonverbal can start to talk and express their emotions through sign language. And that's what I'm excited to hopefully learn a little bit more about today. As I was telling you guys, this is my book, The Tools Within. Each tool in the book is an emotion. And so we work through happiness, sadness, anger, fear, and confidence. I wanted to highlight those emotions because I feel like those are the ones that come up the most at a young age. And for us to be able to get a grasp on those and be really strong and have our kids have a really strong understanding to be able to express them is really important. One of the frameworks that I like to usually teach with my I guess I did like a caregiving training and I work with a lot of caregivers and just parents in general. So something I like to teach is called this step-by-step formula. And basically, what it is it's a way for us as parents or caregivers or just adults working with children to understand and grasp where our kid is at and where they need to improve. So, I'm going to work you through the formula and then I'm going to connect it all together so that you guys understand where we're coming from today. But the formula is what, why, how, then. So, we start with the what, and that's really identifying our emotion and asking our children what emotion they're feeling. So, we have to start with actually giving them the language to be able to understand how to identify that emotion. And then we work through and we talk about why. Once they understand how to express it and name the emotion that they have, we're able to ask them why they're feeling that. And we're able to start talking about like what is causing that emotion and giving them that idea. And this is also a good question for us to be like, are they explaining that? And if not, that's how we know that's where we need to work. Um, we like to ask how. Once we know that they got what and why down, we go on to the how and we figure out how do I move through this emotion? How can I channel this emotion? How can I kind of live with it and then work through it and express it? And the reason I split up how and then is because I really want to take that moment for how to think about what happens next. And then is the action piece where we apply what it is that we learned in the how. What do I need to do that will make me feel better? What do I need to do that will help me calm down in this moment? And then let's go and apply that. And so today I wanted to bring Jenny in to kind of come on and introduce another tool in another way for us to identify our emotion, like I said, at an even younger age. So we're going to really just tackle on the what today, and we're going to identify our emotions through sign language, which is super fun. And I'm honestly excited to learn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing this PowerPoint for now because I want us to be able to see Jenny's hands like up close and personal so we can all try these signs together, and then we're going to kind of just workshop it for a few and go through each emotion. And then if you guys have questions on how to specifically do the sign, feel free to unmute, but we will have like deeper question and answer later on. So let me stop sharing. Hi.
I
Okay. So Jenny, how about before we jump into each emotion, you explain to us kind of what this could do when we start with learning a sign for our emotion and how that could almost help us create more language by using a sign first before expressing our emotions.
so we know obviously that we can sign before we can talk. And that's been proven. And that's something that first, I actually want to talk about some myths. I actually want to get right into it. Let's get the nitty-gritty. I wrote this book last year. This is my son. This is David. Um, and yeah, I know, isn't he beautiful? And I put in here the myths. And so I just want to actually bust those myths because while busting those myths, we will get into the answer of your question.
Okay.
I put myths in here, and I also gave parents and educators a script on how to reply to these myths. Because you may get an email if you're an educator, or you may get a parent or a teacher at the playground saying, I don't do signs because it delays speech. I give you an exact script on how to respond. So that's the first myth, right? So signing will delay speech. And that's obviously false. Actually, it proves that signing helps children develop speech faster, not slower. Babies and toddlers who sign tend to have larger vocabularies and stronger skills than those who don't. So this is an opinion based, this is evidence based. It happened back, I want to say in like the 50s or 60s. I had my husband go and research this because when I started this business, you keep hearing that like echoing. And it it was proven false immediately. And for some reason, just it kept lingering in people's minds, and it still does today. I see some nods. You probably have heard it, and so it's just not true. In fact, it does the opposite. Myth number two, only deaf children need sign language. Listen, sign language is a gift from the deaf community, but it's not just for everyone. It is for everyone. It's not just for deaf children. So research shows that signing improves communication, reduces frustration, enhances cognitive development in both hearing and non-hearing children. Myth number three, signing is too hard to learn. Yeah, American Sign Language is very hard to learn. American Sign Language can take 5 years to become fluent. American Sign Language is something I teach at a college. You need a college degree. It takes a very long time. Even when you graduate after college, you're not going to be fully fluent. I grew up in the deaf community. I grew up signing. I went to interpreting school and I got there and I was like, wait, I know full sign language. Why am I so behind? And it was interpreting is different. The language is very, it's different wherever you go. Where you're signing in Canada may be different than where I'm signing in Michigan. Where you're signing in Texas may be different than Florida. So sign language takes at least 5 years to learn. So signing is very hard to learn. I don't teach you ASL. I teach you ASL words and how to pair it with language to encourage speech and language development. And in a lot of, if you're here and you work with deaf children, a lot of times we use SIMCOM, which doesn't follow full ASL. It can't. It doesn't follow the same word order. So there's things we kind of break away from. And then also, children with disabilities can't learn signs. Are you kidding me? Of course, children with disabilities can learn signs. Signs are made for them. And this is a big part of what I do. And it's a big part of why I believe what I believe and why I'm so hard-headed about it. And you have to learn all of ASL to do sign language. That's not true at all. You just need some simple signs, and we're going to teach you that today.
Amazing. I love this. And I actually want to touch on myth number two, I think it was. Can you
Sure.
reread that for me?
No, I lost the page.
No worries. I
Uh,
think I'm trying to think of what it was. There
If
was something I wanted to add.
sure, I can find it. Do you have another question while I look for it?
Yeah, no, I think it was just about pretty much what you said about, let's
About
see.
how only deaf children?
No, it was before that. Basically, what I wanted to touch on was just that this is like, that was the part that I thought was so cool about bringing this in was that
Yeah.
they'll be able, like, emotions are already really hard to express, especially when you're in the midst of it and you're like having a big emotion. And the reason I think it's so cool to bring in sign language is because we can take that pause in the how, because our kid is going to be able to identify it right away by showing us just a sign. Like, in, maybe they can't get it together to be able to express it when they're crying and having a meltdown, but they'll be able to show you through a sign, this is
Hmm.
what I'm feeling. And then you guys can have like a solution. So yeah, I just
Yeah,
wanted to add that because I'm really excited about that
that's
part.
exactly right. No, that's exactly right. My kids who speak now, they still use signs when they're upset. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, it's something that can stay with you for life. It doesn't need to go anywhere.
that's really cool. Okay. Let's start with happiness. My first tool in the book is Happy Hammer. And show us how we would express that through a sign.
Well, first and foremost, sign language uses five parameters. Sign language uses your hand shape, uses your palm orientation, it uses your location, it uses movement, and it uses non-manual signals, which I believe are the most important, right? Our facial expressions, our eyes, our movements. So all of these five things are what makes a sign. I think it's important to start with that. I think so many times we, as parents or educators, and maybe we're not in the field of deafness or sign language, we think, well, who made this up? Why is that a sign? Great question. We follow the five parameters. So if one of these parameters changes, it actually changes the whole meaning of the sign. So the sign we do want to be correct when you use it. So when you, as the adult, uses the sign, we want it to be a correct ASL sign because we're going to give respect to the deaf community and we're going to give respect to sign language. Now, however, when the person you're teaching you or you're teaching uses the sign, the child who may or may not have a disability, who, whatever age they are, if they do the sign wrong, but they're attempting to do it, we don't care. We don't care.
Yes,
We're
no,
not going to
you.
correct them. We're just going to continue to do it the right way and then they will catch on. We don't care, right? So we love the attempt. So I'm going to show you the correct ASL way to sign happy. It's like this, and we are going to actually touch our chest. Let's see it, Talia.
Let's try it.
We're not going to waft air into our face. We're going to touch our chest. We actually make contact with our body, which is for hearing people just so awkward sometimes,
Yeah.
but not in ASL. So we're moving up in a circular forward motion. This is happiness and happy. And
Okay.
when we're doing it, if we do it like this, that wouldn't make sense. So we'd have a big smile on our.
Okay.
That's the first sign.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah, so I use the signing courses method, which is what I developed to teach signs the right way to children to encourage speech and language. Okay, so this is the signing courses method. This is what started my entire business. And
Cool.
when we use the method, that's how we ensure that speech doesn't get delayed. So maybe speech could get delayed. If you do hear someone, on the playground, a mom, I tried it and it delayed. Well, maybe they didn't do it right. Don't tell them that. But just know that if we don't pair speech with hearing children, right? If we don't pair speech and we completely turn off our speech and we only do signs, that will absolutely disrupt a speech development. So we never turn our voices off when we're using the sign. Okay, so happy. I see you're so happy today. Oh, I see your big smile. You must be feeling very happy.
Ooh, I love that. Okay. Amazing. All right, let's move on to the next one then. So we have happy.
Yeah,
What would, let's see, sad. Sad saw is our next category.
sad. Yeah, sad saw. I know that is sad. And sad is a really important one. We're just gonna go like that. Sad. Now, if I were like, does that make sense?
Not at all.
So when we're signing it as an adult, whether you're a teacher, an educator, a parent, we got to look the part too, right? And so a good time to do this, not only when reading your book, is when you see your child walk in and, oh, yikes, my son had a really bad day at school yesterday and he is 2 years old. And I was like, you look really sad. Can you tell me what you're feeling? Are you feeling sad? Right? So we can speak full English language, English sentences by adding just a sign. We don't have to say, you look really sad today. Why? Right? Because then deaf and hard of hearing children are a different story. Well, we can talk differently about that, right? But we're talking about hearing children. And that's a way that we can use the sign, make that connection with full English sentences and our facial expressions.
I love that. Okay, let's try that again. So it's just literally right in front of your face, your hands,
Dad, let's
and then
see.
with a pouty face.
Yeah. If everyone wants to try it. Sad. We're kind of right in front of our face. Maybe this angle is a little bit better than sad.
I'm feeling happy. Like I can't turn the smile off to do this right now.
I know.
Oh gosh, sorry. um, okay, so we have happy, Amber, sad, saw, or just happy and sad. I'm just adding my characters for fun. Let's see who's next. Mad Mallet would be next. So the reason I really want to talk about
Mm,
this one is because a lot of times when we're angry, we want to just explode. And so I'm hoping that this sign will actually give kids a pause. Like, tell me how you're feeling, and then like let's figure that out from there.
relatable.
Yeah.
Relatable. So on my poster that I'm giving everyone for free who's here today, on my poster, I actually use the word angry. Angry and mad are different signs, although we can feel they're kind of the same emotion. I want you to go with what you typically use as an educator or a parent. I don't usually use the word mad. Sometimes I say angry. So it's really up to you because they're pretty interchangeable. I will show you both signs. Mad. Your hand's going to start up and it's going to scrunch and you're going to put it in front of your face. So it looks just like this. Mad. Mad. Lori, you're doing great. But you got to look mad. You look too happy. Mad. Okay. And then we also have angry. Angry, I think is kind of fun for children. Again, you're going to always introduce the sign that makes the most sense for their little hands, their development, and whatever you're doing. But angry is can be two-handed or one. It starts on your chest, so it kind of a claw hand shape again, starting touching your chest, and you're going to pull up and out. And I can just feel the anger just oozing out of my body. So, angry or mad. Yeah. Let's see it. Talia, what you got?
Okay. So claws, we have angry, and then we
Good.
have mad.
Perfect. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly it. Yeah. And so
I'm
it may
professional.
maybe a child will be more comfortable coming from their chest. Maybe a child's more comfortable coming from their face. You can base it, the
Cool.
it's up to you and whoever you're working with. Yep.
That's awesome. What do you have you worked with both, or do you mainly just teach angry?
So in my ASL world where I'm teaching adults and students full ASL, I use both because they have different meanings. They're different. But with little kids, I tend to do angry and I'll say mad or angry. I'll say, "Are you mad or angry?" And then I'll kind of switch between both of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
good to know. Who was next? Oh, scared screwdriver.
Scared screwdriver. All right, I want you guys who are here today, I want you to guess what scared would be. Ruth, is it Ruth? Don't tell anyone. I already know that you know. So I want you to take a guess on what scared would be. Just take a guess. Don't be shy. No one's watching you, I promise. They can only see me on the recording. So take a guess on what you think. Ooh, kind of, Lori, kind of. Yeah. Is there anyone else on here I can see? No, everyone has their screens off. Shy. I know. Okay, so scared is like this. Your hands are shut, so they're like a fist at the side of your body, more towards like your chest area, and then you're going to open.
Oh,
Shock face. Scared. We used this sign a lot last weekend. I'm sure you guys know why, right? So Halloween can be a little scary, and we can see things that are scary, and we can read books that are scary. And so, I mean, not that we want to, but that's life. And so many times with my littlest, I would say, "No, are you scared?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, I don't want to go to that house." And I'm like, he'd be like, and it's kind of a natural response, but scared. And it gives a really good okay to have that feeling. I do feel scared and I can admit it.
that
So,
I love that. I'm wondering, is that similar to surprised?
surprised. There's surprise. Surprise. Also, wake up in different contexts, but we're not going to go there. Surprise. Ruth, do you use surprise where you live? Yeah. Okay. So these are regional signs. Sometimes they're different. I
Okay.
like to double check, but we have surprise and also have shock. Like
Oh, okay.
sh. It comes with a mouth movement. So surprise and shocked.
Interesting. I feel like I was wondering because I feel like the facial expressions are similar for all of those, right? So it can be
Yeah.
hard to understand, but that makes sense.
Context. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Last but not least, confident.
Ooh, confident. Confident, I'm not gonna lie, is a hard sign for little hands. But I'm gonna show you the adult way to sign confident. Confident. I'm gonna show you a couple times because it's kind of a hard one for little ones. Confidence. I have confidence. Is that how you sign confidence too, Ruth? Never, never. You've never had to? You've just never had to sign it? Okay, look at that. Well, we have a new sign, confident. So confident, what do I have on mine? Confidence can also be signed as strong or strength, maybe for little kids. This
Mhm.
might be a little bit easier for little hands, like feeling confident, which is the same meaning, right? So I think with little kids, I would move the sign. And again, in true ASL, we don't just make up signs, but this is separate. This is simple signing for little kids, right? So we can do something like strong or confident more to the side. Confidence is literally from the middle if you want to go strict ASL, but we're going to go confidence as in strength.
Our hands, do they have to be like not symmetrical? Or like what if I did
No,
it
they
here?
can be symmetrical,
Okay.
strength. Yep.
Okay.
That's good. You're starting to ask the tough questions.
Yeah, well, I don't want to be signing something random.
Yes, you will get arrested by the
Wearing
deaf
in sign. No.
the deaf ASL. No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. We're just happy you're trying right there.
Okay, awesome. I love that. Let's see.
What else we got?
I have one of my book pages to share with you guys so that we can try the emotion with the sign as if we were while we were reading.
Okay. That takes a skill. You're
Oh,
holding a
okay.
book, you're doing a sign, you're moving the book, you're moving the child, you're
Yeah, so here we go. This is Mad Mallet. This
okay.
is his introduction page, I would say. So usually when I'm reading, how I explain it with that why, what, how, then, is this is basically the what page. We're talking about Mad Mallet. So when I'm
Yeah.
teaching this to little kids, like younger that maybe don't have the attention span for a whole book, I would specifically only focus on Mad Mallet and I would
Mhm.
talk about the facial expression. And so I think this is a really good way for us to add in the sign. So I'm excited. Let me try to remember what this was.
Perfect. So again, with kids who we're giving signs to, we're not going to be signing the whole story, right? Like Mallet, Mad Mallet is my name. Together we want to yell, throw, and destroy everything. We're just going to be giving the simple sign. Mallet, ooh, he's mad. Mad Mallet is my name. Together we want to yell and throw and destroy everything. Mad. And you can ask, can you sign mad with me? Copy his face. What do you think his face looks like? They're probably going to show teeth, right? Arr, good. I see. He's mad. Do you ever feel mad? So we could incorporate all of this conversation just in one page of your book.
I love that so much. That's so cool.
Okay.
Um, I don't have any of the other pages. I think the
That's
only
okay.
thing that I really wanted to do next was the question and answer. I think
Yeah,
that's
so
next.
sure. I'm going to show you guys, and then we'll do some questions if you want to take off the screen. I
Okay.
want to show y'all what I'm going to be sending you today to your email. I have There were no good ASL posters or flashcards. They all had emoticons, and I said, "No, no, no. Let's not minimize the value of facial expressions in ASL, a true and rich language, right?" So I went and created my own. And I'm going to be sending you this for free. It's going to be a digital download. Sorry, you're going to have to print it yourself. But here is what I'm going to be sending you. So you can see at the bottom, I decided on a few different words. I did frustrated, right? Motivated or eager, silly, angry, which I told you already how to do that, happy, tired, sad. So not only am I going to send you this, but you can see my facial expressions and how they move, right? And that's really important when we're doing signs. So you are going to get that just for coming today. I just wanted to tell you. I have 14 of these. I got crazy over COVID. Who else got crazy over COVID? Raise your hand.
I think everyone's hands are up.
We all got crazy in a different way. I got crazy in a creative way. Like, thank God for that. I made a food poster. I got health. We got health signs. This is important. I got health signs. I made this poster. Hi, Jess. All right, all right. I have animal signs. I did this one as well because, like, we need these signs, right?
Yeah,
I also have school signs. This is important. We need to know friends. We need to know a sign for play, friends. Yay. Hi, Veronica. I'm so happy you made it.
happy.
Veronica and I met on TikTok. All
Oh,
right.
cool.
We also got colors. All right, so we have some colors. Not only do I write it so they can read it, right? We're practicing our literacy. I also have the color, and then I have me doing the sign. I have a little bit of written information as well, if you need that. And I got weather signs. I also have family signs that are not with me um, and some other ones. I also have all the ABCs. I also have it in flashcards. Like, let's go. Let's do it. So I have them all in flashcards. You can print all these. There's 164 of them. So I'll send you all this information, but I am going to give you some stuff for free because I'm not here to sell you guys things. I'm just here because this whole entire thing, signing courses is not is Signing courses is for people who have deaf children. Signing courses for people who have children who have disabilities. Signing courses is for people who have children who are neurotypical and need that extra support with speech and language. Signing courses is for everyone. And I like to say this multiple times, but sign language is a gift from the deaf community. So that's like my main point is that it is the language of the deaf and it's a gift from the deaf community. And I think as a coda, that's something that I need to really express when I'm talking about things. But yeah, you're gonna get a bunch of that, and I'm gonna send you a bunch of information. Um, and I did want to mention, Talia, one second. I wanted to mention I wrote a children's book.
That's what I was going to go into anyways. I just want to say before we hop off, because I did get the notification that we're going to lose this in a second.
Yes.
I want Jenny to share this because I'm super excited. So
Okay.
please share with
Okay.
us.
Talia, okay, I don't want to get if we get cut off, I'm gonna email everyone who's on here. So don't feel like I'm gonna
Yeah,
leave you hanging. I'm
can't
gonna
wait.
send you all this stuff for free. We're gonna be in contact. I have a couple things. I have a signing leader certification where you get one-on-one classes with me. Like you get full ASL. We talk about this. We do all that. And yes, you need that. Okay. So that's a big thing. And I basically teach you at the college level, meaning like I give you everything. Like we do not skip. I'm not teaching you little signs and vocab. We go full in depth because that's what I believe you need. And I do offer that. That's the signing leader certification. That's not just for educators, that's for parents too. Okay. I also want to tell you about my biggest passion project. I wrote a children's book 16 years ago about my father who was deaf. My father's name is David. My father's from British Columbia, Vancouver, and he was deaf. So I grew up in the deaf world as a coda. He had a hard go, right? So I write about that life of parents finding out you have a deaf children. Anyone on here who maybe relates to that? I write about his story. Everyone has a different story, but and then I wrote about how he worked through adversity and how he was given sign language and his whole world opened up. So I wrote this book 16 years ago. I only just now found someone who would illustrate it for me. No one wanted to because it's so difficult to illustrate hands and sign language in cartoons. I finally found someone and it's coming out, yes, early next year. You can pre-order it right now. I'll send you the link. You're able to pre-order it. You don't have to. You could wait till it comes out or see if you're even interested. But I wanted to share that with everyone because that was like my true passion project. So
Yes.
I have
And
a bunch of stuff.
if you
We're
guys all scan this QR code that's up, I'm gonna send everything from Jenny and I to you over email. So just fill out your name and your email, and then everything that we talked about that you're gonna get, it's gonna come from one place in just a little doc so that you have it all.
yay. So make
Yeah.
sure you scan that. But what questions do you guys have? We have 6 minutes left. Does anyone have any specific questions for Talia about her book, or does anyone have any questions for me?
Yeah, anything. We can also stop the recording if you guys are more comfortable with that too, and we can do questions separately. But if you have any right now that you want to ask on recording, go ahead.
And you can type it in the chat too if we're shy. Someone's got to have a question. I know if I wait long enough, there's always one question that pops up. Veronica, I can't see you. Veronica, are you writing a question? You're so little, so your signs are like beep, 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 beep to me.
I
Okay, I'm
think
waiting.
what it is, she can't find down the bottom. If she
Oh, you
goes,
want to unmute? I can unmute you.
yeah, that's what she wants, I think. It's just really touchy. Is that right, Veronica? Yes.
Okay, yes. Can you unmute Veronica? Yay. Hi, Veronica.
Yay! Jeez. Sorry, I was trying to find the unmute button, but it wouldn't
It's
let me unmute it.
that's right.
First of all, sorry that I like joined super late. I lost track of time and waiting for my son to get off the bus. But so Talia, you wrote a book as well.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if you can like send me the info on the like in my email because I know I don't want to like re-go over it since everybody already heard about it and
Yeah, no.
stuff.
Okay, so I wrote the tools
Definitely.
within. I will send that to you. I'm gonna send over email if you make sure you put your email on here. We're gonna send you how to get in contact with Jenny and I specifically on Instagram, everywhere that we are, our emails, and then we'll also send the links to all of our stuff and your freebies will be in that email as well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. I'm excited, especially like Jenny, I really want to like get in contact with the one-on-one.
Yeah.
So my son, he was born deaf. He's the only deaf person in our family.
Mhm.
So I've been learning, like, still trying to learn ASL. I get a little discouraged sometimes because I kind of like second guess myself when I'm like signing, especially at his school. He goes to the deaf school. So when I'm around like a lot of deaf people, I kind of lose that confidence because I get nervous and I'm like, and everyone's like, no, you're doing good. You're trying, that's
Hmm.
awesome. Because not a lot of hearing parents, learn ASL for their deaf kids. So I think they really, like
Yeah.
applaud me for that because I'm at least trying.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah,
but
that's
yes, I do want more information on that because I've been trying to look. I am doing an online class with the Oklahoma School for the Deaf. But I think I just want something that's more like interactive with a
yeah.
human, and I
Hmm.
kind
Yeah.
of learn better that way as well.
Guys, I used to do like everything fully on demand. I actually stopped. I said, you know what? I don't, you can watch videos all you want, but we need to interact. So
Yep.
what I do is I offer classes directly with me. And we do our classes, we sign back and forth, I test you, we do it all. And then at the end of our time together, I actually pair you up with a sign language tutor ambassador for free. I include it in all this and you get to sign with a deaf person for 30 minutes. And I give you that as a gift to show you, look it, this is how you're going to build your confidence, not just with me, of course, but you're
Mhm.
going to be able to go into the world and sign with someone who's deaf. So we do that all together.
Oh, yay.
Love that. This is so cool. And I'm honestly so excited, but I don't want to get cut off. I want to make sure I thank Jenny for being here and for doing this for us because this was so cool. It made me so happy. I feel like I have to use it. But I am just hoping that we can all stay in contact. Thank you for coming and taking time out of your day to be here. And I'm gonna stop the recording and we have like 2 minutes. So if you guys want to keep talking for 2 minutes, we can, but it might just cut off. So I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you, Talia. It was so nice to meet everyone. It was just, thank you for coming and spending time today. I know it's